Good morning everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing fantastic today. I'm Mysticle, and today I'll be bringing you the latest in AR and VR news. We've got quite a few interesting things to talk about, so let's jump right into the video. First of all, we're going to talk about Quest Update V56. First of all, hand tracking 2.2. Since releasing controller-free hand tracking as a software update for the original Oculus Quest back in late 2019, Meta has been steadily improving the technology with updates, and it has gone through a few very significant changes. The 2.0 update last year improved handling and fast movements. However, with V56, Meta is launching hand tracking 2.2, which it says reduces hand tracking latency, bringing the experience closer to controllers. Meta is claiming up to 40% latency reduction in typical usage and up to 75% during fast movements. That's a very big reduction. Hand tracking 2.2 also introduces a new fast motion mode developers can enable, which Meta says improves tracking of fast movements common in fitness and rhythm apps. I do think that there are going to be some trade-offs here. Of course, the headset is going to track a little bit faster, so I do think that maybe it's going to lose out on accuracy a little bit, or maybe those more minute movements. However, it won't lose tracking half as much. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what exactly this entails. Auto power to update. When you plug in your headset, it will automatically turn on and download both app and system updates. Now, I do see this actually making quite a few people unhappy, especially those that are worried about security, and I do know that there's still quite a few of you out there that are worried that this thing has cameras and you don't want it being on, and when you power it off, you want it to be off. However, with this feature, when you plug in the headset to charge, it will automatically turn on to download system and app updates. Now, this is incredibly handy, but I do see why some people would be concerned there. Of course, it's not going to use your battery or anything like that because it is plugged in. Let me know your opinions on this one down below. Version V56 also shows your battery level on the power off screen. Meta's release notes also mention additional unspecified improvements to the low battery warning notifications and system-wide local dimming on the Quest Pro. With version 56, Meta is adding the option to enable local dimming system-wide, though developers will be able to specifically opt out of this if they want to. Now, this has actually been a feature for quite some time. We've been able to enable local dimming system-wide using an ADB command, so this is nothing new, but for those of you that maybe don't feel comfortable using ADB commands, this is going to be a perfect way to enable local dimming right there on your headset. Of course, if you own a Quest Pro. Now, local dimming does have a noticeable trade-off, blooming, since the backlighting resolution is so much lower than the color resolution. On the Quest Pro, around 500 mini LEDs for almost 4 million pixels. Many dark-colored pixels adjacent to the light ones will also be illuminated. Mini LED is a big step over traditional LCD, but it is not a full substitute for OLED. And Facebook live streaming is back. Facebook live streaming was gone for the longest time. Quite a few people were very unhappy about this, and I am unhappy about the fact that you still can't live stream to YouTube, which of course, I mean, I can see why they're doing it. It's their competitor platform, but still, I feel like if you could live stream to YouTube, quite a few people would be using that feature. But 2 years after they removed the feature, Meta claims by popular demand, the feature is coming back as an experimental update that will roll out gradually, separately to the main V56 update. Unlike the previous implementation, the new feature will show a floating persistent panel with the current viewer count and live chat. This is a really cool feature that you would normally only have on PC, where you can maybe mount a panel to a controller or have it be floating in front of you. That is really, really handy, being able to interact with your viewers right there directly inside virtual reality, but it makes me want them to seriously implement YouTube live streaming. Live captions in home and button remapping. V56 also brings 2 new optional accessibility features. Live captions would show floating subtitles for anything playing audio in home apps like the Quest TV and the Explore tab and the Quest Store. Meta says it's exploring the possibility of expanding this to other apps too, potentially system-wide. And button remapping is the other accessibility-focused feature. Meta says you'll be able to swap buttons, create custom layouts, and more. I actually see myself using this feature quite a bit. I see it as just being incredibly handy. Being able to remap the buttons on your controllers is something quite a few people would want to do if they feel like a different layout would work better for them. Swipe typing on your virtual keyboard is actually something I'm super excited about because I want to know how well it works compared to the phone swipe typing, as I've actually been using phone swipe typing quite a bit during the last half a year. It's just something I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try it, and it actually turned out to be super handy and really, really fast once you get used to it. So if you are using direct touch, that's something to look forward to. The Quest Pro is also getting multimodal simultaneous hands and controller mode. So with that improved hand tracking model, you now also get simultaneous hand and controller tracking. This mode was first announced alongside the Quest Pro's touch controllers at Connect 2022 in October. It's a feature developers will be able to enable in their apps called multimodal. With multimodal, controller tracking continues, enabling an instantaneous transition and mixing of hands and controllers. This should allow one-controller games like Golf Plus and Walkabout Mini Golf to track your other hand, for example. Meta CTO Andrew Bosworth shared a short clip of multimodal in action. I do wonder how well it would work, for example, for full finger tracking while using controllers, because of course, Meta's Even Touch Pro controllers do not have that feature of tracking every finger individually. However, if you can track both hands and controllers at the same time, that would potentially allow you to have full finger tracking. Of course, it wouldn't work if your hands were obscured by the controllers, but I do see Meta somehow working around that a little bit. Now, we talked about the Quest 3 being quite a bit more powerful in the last video, and Pavlov's Shack actually being allowed to run at a higher frame rate on the Quest 3. Now we've got even more information on this, as The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 1 is going to get an enhanced version on the Quest 3 this fall. Skydance Interactive revealed its upcoming plans for The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and Chapter 1 is getting enhanced on the Quest 3. To quote, an enhanced version of Chapter 1 will be coming to the Meta Quest 3. So just like Upload VR, I'm quite curious about what Skydance means by enhanced version here. I cannot wait to see how many more titles are going to get an enhanced version on the Quest 3, and I cannot wait to try and replay some of my favorite titles, either with an enhanced version or possibly with a higher frame rate, without the need to worry about wires, Wi-Fi dropping, or having to even turn on my PC. There is something about standalone VR that I cannot deny does keep bringing me back to it. It's just the freedom of being completely disconnected from everything else. I mean, adding a PC to the mix is a point of failure. And I know a lot of you are going to say, if you have a good PC, you shouldn't be worried about failure. But I built this thing, so what are we expecting? To show off that new hand tracking update of V2.2, Meta released a new first-party app called Move Fast, which is pretty similar to the company's own block-slashing rhythm game Beat Saber, albeit tasking you with chopping, punching, and blocking incoming objects. With only 4 songs to play through, however, Move Fast isn't meant to be a full game, as Meta says it's more for demonstration purposes on exactly how well their new hand tracking works. And to be honest, what better way to show it than in a rhythm game where you need to move fast? This should perfectly show how capable their hand tracking is during fast movements, which are arguably the most difficult kind of movement to capture when hand tracking. You can actually check it out yourself right now by downloading it for free from Quest App Lab. This is definitely something I'm going to be trying out, as I am a massive fan of hand tracking. It has completely changed the way I set up these headsets for people. If somebody doesn't know how to do something, or if I'm setting up a headset for the first time when I'm sharing it with someone, I'm actually just going to use hand tracking to set up my room, to draw out the boundaries, to set up anything I might need to set up in settings. It's just a lot easier, and they can hold on to the controllers if they feel like it. I don't have to keep swapping that out with people. And don't even get me started about media watching. Hand tracking has completely changed that for me. And I would love to see more apps utilizing it, especially now that it's getting better and better, just like VR chat. And finally, Sony has done something really cool and revealed the history of the PSVR 2's development and shown their prototypes. PSVR 2's development began back in late 2016. Sony says right after it shipped the original PlayStation VR for PS4. One of the PSVR 2's unique features is an in-headset vibration motor. To prototype this, Sony says its engineers took the vibration motor out of a DualShock 4 gamepad and placed it into the early PSVR 2 prototype, finding that it increased the immersion. In case you guys want to read the full article or check out what Sony has shown us, I'm going to leave a link down below. As a nerd, I am very excited for companies to show us exactly how they prototyped something, exactly how something works, and show us the insides. I've said in previous videos, I am a massive fan of clear tech because I just love seeing what's inside my technology. And I tend to be that guy that just randomly opens stuff for fun just to take it apart and put it back together. In fact, where is my phone? I'm actually planning on taking the tape off this and making it into a clear back. There we go. Look at that. Oh, yes. Look how cool that looks. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I think that looks really cool. And if you took this off, it actually looks even cooler. But again, that could just be me. I'm a massive fan of Sony doing this, and it's definitely something that I would read through in my free time just to check out exactly how everything was made. And I would love more companies to do this, so that maybe I wouldn't have to take stuff apart and break it. That's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night. I do apologize if my voice sounds any different today. I have quite a sore throat actually, so it may sound a little bit deeper than usual, even though I just don't see that being a bad thing. Either way though, thanks so much for watching once again. If you liked it, please do leave a like. If you disliked it, I guess the bonus too, but let me know why down below. If you guys want to discuss anything at all, feel free to chat about it in the comments or check out our Discord and our Reddit, which are also down in the description below. Thank you so much to all the lovely names going off to my right now. Those guys are my Patreons, and they are helping me out so much during the times when I am still moving. This is going somewhere else. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much. And as usual, if you guys want to be notified about future content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack the subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace. Tak? Okay.